Hi, welcome to the Bunny Dojo. I'm Michelle, and this is my co-host Bella, who is actually awake today because she's eating her favorite pellets. And today we're going to talk about what every bunny parent should have as an emergency kit. The different things. The very first thing I should say is, and that should be in your kit, is the phone number of your local vet, which you probably have already, but it's always good to have it handy. Also, the phone number and address of an emergency vet. There are emergency clinics that are open 24/7, and God forbid something happens in the middle of the night where you can't get to your regular vet. It's always handy to know that there is some place that you can go. Okay, so the very first thing I think I would mention is the gas drops. And Bella's gonna eat everything. No, come here. Come here, baby. Baby, come here. First thing is gas drops. Gas drops, you can get this infant gas drops. You can actually get these really cheap from, these were from Stop and Shop, only $3.99. You can also get them at the pharmacy for more expensive, but that's gas drops. Anytime a bunny is laying flat on the floor, it's likely that they have gas, and one of the things you do is you give them these gas drops. You can also massage the stomach a little bit and encourage them to move around. Another essential item to have on hand is Metacam or Minoxidil. This is an anti-inflammatory pain medicine. You've probably gotten it if you've gotten your rabbit spayed or neutered, but it's extremely helpful to have on hand in case your bunny does go through GI stasis or has any pain. You need a prescription for this, but you can buy it in bulk from places like Valley Vet, which is where I got this from, and you actually get a lot more for the value. And if your bunny has stopped eating completely, of course that is a reason for concern. If they're refusing their favorite food, or if they've slowed down, that could be an indication of GI stasis, gastrointestinal stasis, and that can develop very quickly into an emergency. Things you want to have on hand for that include Critical Care. Critical Care, this is Oxbow's brand, the apple banana flavored. It has all the proper nutrients. You mix it in a bowl with water, and then you syringe feed it to your rabbit. You can use a big fat syringe like this because it will be pretty thick. Or if you find that your bunny is having trouble accepting that, you can use a small syringe and just give it to them more often and make it more watery. Whatever it takes to get them eating again is the most important thing, because as every rabbit knows, every rabbit parent knows, it's very important that your bunny keeps eating all day long. Another thing you can do is smash up pellets. If you don't have any of the Critical Care on hand, you can smash up pellets and put them in water or juice. Other medicines that the vet will give you when they have GI stasis include Reglan and Propulsid. These are gut motility drugs, which will help get their gut moving. Now, usually when you get them from the vet, you will not use the whole bottle, so it's good to hang on to these until they expire. Now, of course, only if you're a very experienced rabbit owner should you be using these on your own. If you've been taught by a vet, or if you, like me, I've had lots of experience with rabbits and the rabbit rescues. Other things you can use to get their gut moving includes Papaya Tablets. This will help break down anything that's causing a blockage. Other things you should have on hand. Hey, Bella. Hey, Bella, you coming out? Coming out. Oh, what a good girl. Did you want these? Another thing to have on hand, by the way, is in order to get them to eat, have their favorite treats on hand, their favorite pellets. In this case, I have Science Selectives Adult Rabbit Food. You can get this on Amazon again. This, for some reason, most rabbits go crazy for them, and again, if your bunny isn't eating, the most important thing to do is to have something on hand that you know the bunny is going to be most likely to eat. Some vegetables to try include parsley, because it has leaves, or cilantro. Sometimes they'll eat the leaves even if they're not eating a whole piece of lettuce. My bunnies particularly like kale. Kale isn't necessarily the best thing for them because it's full of calcium, but if your bunny's not eating, again, the most important thing to do is get him eating, and it can be a great start. Okay, another thing to have on hand is, because bunnies often get debris in their eyes or eye infections, something that you can do is just have on hand is saline solution. Make sure it's not, this is regular saline solution, but just make sure it doesn't have any medicine in it, that it's just straight saline that could be used in a bunny's eye. My rabbit Barney has head tilt at the moment, so he is getting saline as well as eye lubricant and antibiotic drops. Again, you could get this really cheap. This is Opticare eye lube. You could get this really cheap on Amazon. Of course, you can also get it from your vet. Put that on several times a day if you notice that their eyes are getting dried out or red. It's always good to also have on hand different size syringes, okay? You want to have, especially if you're feeding the critical care, you want to have things that are like this big, all right? A really big fat one and a smaller medium-sized one. All right, and then also the regular size syringes. These are the ones that you mostly get when you are giving any bunny medication. If you get an antibiotic, they will usually give you 1 or 2 of these. I always ask for extra because it's good to have them on hand. And you can clean them very easily if you don't know. You can just take the thing out and then put it back in, and it cleans very easily. Bella just decided we should be on the other side of the pen. Right, baby? She's a little bit tired of that side. So anyway, to continue. Other things you want to have on hand is a thermometer. Bunny's normal temperature is between 100.5 and 103.5. If they're running a temperature, it's definitely cause to take them to the vet. This is a regular thermometer. You stick it in their butt and take their temperature. I tried getting an ear one that you're sticking in your ear for a baby, and it did not work at all. Maybe you'll have better luck than me, but another thing that you can have on hand is a heating pad. This is if your bunny's temperature is dropping, if they're getting, if their ears are cold and you find you take their temperature and the temperature is dropping, that means you've got to get them to the vet. But in the meantime, you want to try and warm them up. You can do that by using blankets, holding them, on the floor. If you don't want to stress them out, you just lay on the floor with them. I've done this with Barney, especially with his head tilt. He leans on my arm, and I just keep him warm. But you can try using a heating pad. Barney didn't really like the heating pad, but I know other bunny people have used it, and it's worked really well. Nail clippers. Bunny's nails get very long, and you can learn to clip them yourself. These are the little ones for my dwarf rabbits, Fred, Barney, and Bugsy. And these big suckers are for Bella because her nails are extremely thick. She's 13 pounds and she's got big everything. Another thing you want to have on hand is cornstarch in case you accidentally cut the nail too close and they start bleeding. And first of all, don't panic if this does happen. I panicked the first time it happened, and I called my vet right away, and they were like, oh, you just put cornstarch on it, don't worry about it. If it doesn't stop bleeding, of course, it's a problem, and you want to go to the vet. But 99% of the time, if you just hold the paper towel against it, press it tight, put cornstarch on it, and it will stop bleeding. Right, Bella? Something else you want to have on hand are brushes and combs, especially if you want to check to make sure that they don't have fleas. On rescues, this is what we do. first thing when a bunny is rescued, because they've been outside for a long time. They most likely have picked up something. Some of them have even had fly strike, which is extremely serious, and we take them to the vet right away to make sure that they get treated for it. But and then this is also just good for grooming in general, especially if you have one of those lion head bunnies, which are so adorable. They've got lots of fur, and the Angora bunnies. Bella doesn't really enjoy being groomed, but she does a pretty good job on her own. Now, rabbits clean themselves, and they don't need a bath, and actually putting them in a bath in water can cause shock and actually kill the rabbit. So, but if your rabbit for some reason gets urine stains on them because they've been sick and they've been sitting in their urine, or when I first got Bella, she was a little overweight and she had trouble cleaning herself, so she would get what's called poopy butt. In that case, it's okay to give you get a litter pan, you put down a towel, fill it up with a very small amount of water. She sits in it. She feels safe because she's on the towel. My mom pets her. Again, it's easier if you have two people, but you can do it on your own. She pets her, keeps her calm. I just massage the fur in order to get the poop out. Also, now if you don't want to do that, or if you just want to get urine stains out, as I said, on the fur, you can also use baby cornstarch. This is a easy dry option. You do use baby cornstarch or baby wipes, and this is less stressful for the rabbit. What you do is you put the cornstarch on and you brush it out with the comb, or you rub it in and again you massage it out. It's very safe for the bunnies, and it's a way of cleaning them if they need it. Another thing you might want to have on hand is rubber gloves. I use just plain ugly kitchen gloves to clean the pen. I know some people get grossed out if you pick up a rabbit's poop. I don't. I will pick them up with my hand, but unfortunately I've found that I have gotten several infections in my fingers from this. If you have the tiniest cut and you're touching the poop and urine, it is possible that you can get an infection. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen. So I always wear gloves for that reason, not because I'm grossed out. Other things you want to consider having are general first aid items that you'd find in any first aid kit: bandages, gauze, cotton balls, tweezers, in case your bunny gets scratched or bitten, and you can use that antibiotic ointment. You can use that until you're able to get your bunny to the vet. One last thing is I really would encourage you to make friends with the people in your local bunny community. All right, you can find them on Facebook, or if you contact your local rabbit rescue or shelter, you'll find some of the nicest people you've ever met, because they are bunny parents themselves. They will go out of their way to help you. I have had people come over to my house and I clip nails and given medicine when a person has had difficulty doing it by themselves. And I've had people come over to my house to help me with my rabbits. So I would greatly encourage you to make friends with the people in the bunny community. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope this was helpful. If we missed anything, please be sure to leave us a comment, because one of the reasons for this channel is so that we can help each other. And Bella is finally sleeping, and she says goodbye too. And we really hope to see you next time. Thank you.